Hello friends, today we shall discuss an important artery of the abdomen, that is the celiac trunk. Now the celiac trunk is the first ventral branch that arises from the abdominal aorta at the level of the upper border of L1. Now these vertebral levels of certain important arteries are often asked. So you must remember that the celiac trunk arises from the abdominal aorta at the upper border of L1, or certain books describe it as at the level of the intervertebral disc between the T12 and L1. Okay, so as I told you, it's the first ventral branch from the abdominal aorta, and it is the artery of the foregut. So all the structures which develop in the foregut will be supplied from the celiac trunk, that is the lower part of the esophagus, the stomach, the first part of duodenum, and the second part up to the opening of the common bile duct or up to the major duodenal papilla. Okay, so this is the limit of the foregut. And also the glands which develop in the foregut, that is the liver, the spleen, and the part of the pancreas, that is the body and the upper part of the head of pancreas, are all supplied by branches from the celiac trunk. Okay, so the celiac trunk is a very short vessel. Soon after its origin, it divides into its three major branches. So this length is only 1.25 centimeters before it terminates into its branches. These branches are the left gastric artery, the splenic artery, and the common hepatic artery. Now we shall deal with all these three branches one by one. The first, so this is the celiac trunk from which this arises, the first branch, that is the left gastric artery. It runs slightly upwards and to the left till it reaches the cardiac end of stomach. Here it will give off certain esophageal branches, and then it curves downwards like this and enters the lesser omentum, which we know runs between the liver and the lesser curvature of the stomach. So it will now enter and run in the lesser omentum along the lesser curvature of stomach and provide gastric branches through its course. So you can say that the upper part of the lesser curvature of the stomach is supplied by the left gastric artery. Now these branches will supply both the surfaces, anterior as well as posterior surfaces of the lesser curvature. And terminally it will anastomose with branches of the right gastric artery, which will arise from the common hepatic artery. Okay, so this was the left gastric branch. The next branch that we see here is the splenic artery, which is the largest branch of the celiac trunk, and it is visibly tortuous. After its origin from the celiac trunk, it runs towards the left and will pass behind or posterior to the stomach and lies in the stomach bed, and here it will emerge and then go on to the spleen. But before it reaches the spleen, it will give off a few short gastric branches, which are 5 to 7 in number and which supply the fundic part of the stomach. Also, it gives off a branch known as the left gastroepiploic artery, which will supply this part of the greater curvature of the stomach. Now when it is passing behind the stomach, it lies, this is where the upper border of the body of pancreas lies. So here it will give off few pancreatic branches, and also it gives off a branch known as the posterior gastric artery, which supplies the posterior surface of the stomach. So along with the branches of the celiac trunk, we are also looking at the blood supply of the stomach, and remember various regions and which arteries are supplying them. Okay, now this was all about the splenic artery. Now after it gives off these branches and before it enters the hilum of the spleen, it will divide into 5 to 6 trabecular branches, and these trabecular branches will then enter through the hilum into the spleen. Okay, now the last branch of the celiac trunk is this, that is the common hepatic artery. Now this branch, as it arises from the celiac trunk, runs towards the right and gives off a branch known as the gastroduodenal artery, and another branch, that is the right gastric artery. Now this right gastric artery runs towards the left and enters the lesser omentum and supplies the lesser curvature of the stomach through these gastric branches and ends by anastomosing with branches from the left gastric artery. Now after it gives off these two branches, that is the gastroduodenal artery, this artery is now known as the hepatic artery proper. Hepatic artery proper or the proper hepatic artery. Now this will turn upwards and go towards the liver, and when it reaches the porta hepatis will end by dividing into the right and left hepatic arteries. Now the right hepatic artery will in turn give a branch which supplies the gallbladder known as the cystic artery. Okay, so again the branches of the common hepatic artery are the gastroduodenal artery, which supplies the first part of duodenum and the pancreas, and the right gastric artery, and then continues as the hepatic artery proper, which will divide into the right and left hepatic arteries. The right branch gives a cystic artery to supply the gallbladder. So these are the three branches coming out of the celiac trunk and their blood supply. Hope you understood well. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and do give your valuable suggestions regarding all the topics that you would like to study. Thank you.